I believe it was Wesley Snipes who said, "There's only ever been one blade, and there's only ever gonna be one blade." What's good, nephews? Big Unk, Chaos, here to give you all a character guide / breakdown for my new favorite, my main blade in Marvel Rivals. If you enjoy this content, be sure to let me know in the comment section and let me know who else you guys want to see. To start things off, Blade is a close to mid-range fighter. He has two different weapons to use from. His sword, which is a close range attack that's basically just going to be doing about 19 damage per slice, nothing too crazy, and of course his pistol, which is going to be doing great damage from that 10 to 15 meter range. 2 headshots is going to take out most people, no problem. As you get further back, because it is a slug, unfortunately it's going to be harder to hit those shots, which means he's going to also do less damage. Around the 25 mark, you really see the drop off. Here, I'll show you guys here. So from this distance, 25 meters, even straight on, I can't kill him. Now I'm at 20 meters. At 20 meters, you can hit him if you get 2 headshots, and they've got 250 health. So that's really nice. His second move, Daywalker Dash, is going to have 2 different effects depending on which mode you're using and which weapon you have activated. If you do that while having the pistol, it's going to dash you in as normal, and then you're going to shoot the enemy. What that'll do is that'll apply healing reduction up to 40%. That means that the healing that this person receives will be 40% of what it normally reduced by 40% of what the initial number was. So that's really good, especially if you've got someone closed off. If you want to focus a tank and clear them out the last bit of health, really nice closer. You get 2 shots of that, so you're able to really utilize it well. I don't think that you're going to be able to get a lot of enemies with this, even if you like time it. Like as you can see here, I'll try. You know, it's kind of hard to get more than one person with it, so that's a little bit unfortunate. The second one's a dash with the blade. You dash in, if you connect, you essentially spin. This is really good for just, you know, chasing those annoying people, the Jeffs, the Rockets, that last little push that you're gonna need to really close them out. Next up, we have Scarlet Shroud. This is going to be a shield that reduces damage by 80%. So a lot of people thought this was a parry. They thought it was complete damage negation. It's not like Mr. Fantastic, and I'm really happy about that because the last thing we really need in this community is more ways to just ignore damage. How it's going to work is he'll take the stance. Sorry, I gotta actually hold it up. As he takes the stance, he's going to block all damage, and it lasts for about a good, 3-4 seconds. During that time, you're actually going to be speeding up your sanguine shot, which is your dash. Doing so, it increases the rate of restoration of it, I think by like 50%, because it started going a little faster. If you guys notice, look how faster it goes in that corner when I actually do have that activated. So it's a demonstration. Normal speed, shield. Like that's it's about a good 50% double. This means that Blade cannot block all damage. So don't go in there thinking you're some type of super tank. I know a lot of people have this weird fixation with characters being classes that are not DPS Jeff, tank Mr. Fantastic. No, Blade is a brawler. I think he can dive, I think he can poke, but he's primarily a brawler, so you're not going to be the person who wants to just go up there by yourself, catch people lacking, and you dang sure aren't going to want to try to like be the tank of your team, unless you want to just sell your elo. Before I get to probably the most complicated part of Blade, I also want to talk about his team up with Dagger. So he's got this one called New Moon. While doing it, essentially lets you be invisible, which is very useful for pressing the ops. It also gives you a pseudo healing effect. It's not as strong as like, Cloak per se, but I'm glad that they implemented that for characters like Moon Knight and Blade as well. If you do the attack while in range of an enemy, you'll actually be able to follow up with an additional strike. Here's a demonstration. I drop it here. Let's say I go pistol mode. You're gonna have to use the blade, unfortunately, for that, which that's okay. Just a nice little slash. Get in there, about what, 100 and something health. But while you're inside there, you are gonna be healing up a little bit, which is very useful. And just so there's no confusion on what I mean, notice, take some damage, 325, drop it here, get my healing back. So that's very useful for anybody who's worried about, that the lingering effects of... Now, as I said before, Blade is a mid-range character, so the sweet spot for hitting opponents is going to be about 20 meters. I noticed that you can kill squishies, headshots at from 250 health to 0 at 20 meters. Once you get to that 25 meter threshold, it's going to take 3 for the most part, unless your aim is like, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm cracked with my aim, but it's a slug shot. So unfortunately, that means it's going to be a lot harder to hit. If you get them just perfectly, aim a little bit to the right, you probably can pull them off. Let's see if we move back to the 30 mark. Not too shabby. So overall, not bad damage. Yeah, about 30 is when it falls off. But again, you're going to need some cracked aim to hit those headshots. But don't underestimate Blade's pistol. I recommend using it a lot more than the sword, actually, until enemies close in. All right, Bloodline Awakening. This probably is the most complicated move in the game right now because there's a lot of confusion. So for starters, I'm just going to demonstrate this just once so there's no confusion, because a lot of people seem to think you can't be healed when you're in this form. So I'm taking damage, right? Watch this, just so everyone can see. Whoa, what? But hold on. A lot of people have it in their head that you can't heal Blade when he's in this form. That is not how that works. So in this mode, similar to Blade's shot that he gives the enemies, which provides reduced healing, in Lifesteal form, Blade is going to get less healing. That means those of you who play Strategist do in fact still need to heal the guy. Notice here, I got a full health pack that should bring me all the way up to 350. Only brought me to about 235, 254. He does, in fact, need healing. I don't know where this thing came from, or he doesn't need it. I don't know who started saying that, or he heals up on his own, or you can't. Here's me walking straight over. Here's me dropping my orb to get more healing. I mean, you can heal Blade, please do. Now that that is out of the way, I'll explain how it actually works. So when you're in the lifesteal mode, you primarily only get to use the sword unless you go through the hassle of switching. If you switch your weapons, like press Y, you'll immediately go out of the form, which is nice. I think that's very useful. But the lifesteal sword slashes, they're essentially a flurry. It allows you to attack a lot faster. As you deal damage, you're going to increase your speed, which means in turn, you'll increase the amount of attacks, which in turn should increase how much health you're gaining. You get a whole group of enemies together, you're going to be able to drain their life. However, once again, all healing effects from your teammates are going to be reduced during this time. That means in order to mitigate this, I'd highly recommend someone like a Luna who can throw the star on you, because Luna's star provides 30% increased healing. So those of you out there are like, oh, what do I do to mitigate Blade's damage? Get yourself a great Luna who's going to back you up. Ask for the star very nicely, and hopefully they give it to you. That's going to take away a lot of the problems you have and makes Blade, in my opinion, pretty dang hard to finish off. Now, this is going to be demonstrational for anyone who's going to hit me with the whole, oh, enemy's just going to stand there and let you do whatever they want. Of course not. But as you can see here, as I'm attacking him, my speed is going to increase crazy. And when you do this, when you have this up right now, if you do his Sanguine Slash, it actually gives you one of those immediately. So you can just chain those. And they come a lot quicker the more you hit enemies. So by chaining them like this, you can essentially just bully your teammates. Bully your ops into submission. Push them back. It's a great zoning tool. Just constant pressure. Just attack, attack, attack. You know, it won't take me too long to wipe out the Groot. Maybe in the middle of that, you switch over, incorporate the slow effect so they have reduced healing. Incorporate moves like that in there. And lastly, Blade's ultimate. I mean, where do I even begin? Who should I use it on? Let's just see. Can we kill a Groot start to finish with it? No, but damn near. I mean, half of his health gone with the 40% healing debuff is pretty nice. I like to compare Blade's ult, kind of that of Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, domain expansion cleave, because guess what? You just, look at that. Look at that. I like utilizing this on the healers. I know everyone is going to say go for the divers, go for whatever. No, I always go straight for the healers. And I've killed so many people through their ultimates. Luna Snows, Mantises, Cloak and Daggers. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. They cannot deal with this, especially if you time it with something like a Groot. Another fun fact about this as well, if you activate the vampire form and you use its ultimate, what it'll do is it'll give you the opportunity to gain health back. Because as you have lifesteal, the damage you deal is still going to be a portion of the health you get back. So if you hit a bunch of people, let me get myself down as low as possible. All right, let me make sure I don't die. And let's just see the type of health gain you get back from this, just to show you guys. Look at that. Look at that. Just a pure melting. And I honestly didn't even hit all of them. So yeah, Blade to me right now is probably the most fun and exciting character. Team compositions I'd recommend with him heavy. I'm going to just put out there, you're going to want a Luna so bad. Luna is such a huge boon, such a helpful tool and resource to have on the game. And she's honestly the best healer. If you incorporate Luna as well as Blade, you're essentially going to be able to get rid of that negligible effect of the 40% healing reduction. It almost will make it to where your lifesteal will feel like true organic lifesteal at that point. But that's just my thoughts on it. So far, I've had a lot of fun with him. If you guys want to see a couple videos of me going crazy with him on ranked, let me know in the comment section. But I wanted to make this guide just super easy, super user-friendly. As far as anything like crosshairs or anything like that settings, for Blade, I will say that there are some additional settings that you can use. If you go inside of your settings, Go to controller or keyboard, whatever you're using it on. And you go to character, you go specifically to blade. There's going to be an option on here. So with this, you're going to be able to change it to where after you swap weapons or enter your Blood Awakening form, it doesn't change your weapon. And I think that for some reason I'm having trouble finding it, but I had it earlier. Regardless of that, I personally like leaving it on because me going from Sanguine in here means I have two different options. You can either swap his weapon or you can cancel the move altogether. But personally, I like to just, you know, boom, just cancel it. Lets you go a lot quicker. Something else I want to point out with Blade, what he is not. I don't recommend Blade for dives. He's not bad in a one-on-one against, you know, most people. That said, he's not going to have the best time if he gets separated from his team because that loss of health reduction and this shield makes a lot of people feel like they're indestructible and invincible. And they are definitely not. Well, that's going to have to do it for today, y'all. I had a lot of fun with Blade. I've had so much fun with him playing him this season. If you guys want more King of Chaos, you want to see more of this content, you want to see my ranked gameplay with him, be sure to let me know in the comment section because I really want to show you guys everything he can do. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.